Hello, I'm Steve from Poundstooth Miniature Painting. Welcome to today's stream. Today what I would like to do, sorry I'm a little bit off my normal schedule because I'm going to go meet a friend for dinner tonight. This is a model that I've been working on for a little bit. This is a Cypher Lord Thrall Master, and I built yesterday. I'm getting this ready for a competition that's coming up on Saturday. So I need to get this base done and attach it to the base, finish up any little last details. I think I'm mostly done with the model other than it needs varnish, but I need to finish this base first. So I built this with the model in mind. I actually already have two little areas you can see there and there. Those big dots are actually masking fluid, so I can remove that so there's no primer, and then I can plastic glue this down. Yeah. So let's get started. I'm going to use the airbrush a little bit. Actually, why don't I...
There's rhythm in the air, and love is everywhere. Put your lips against mine. Just take your time.
Everything is in color, and I can feel the air. I can see it. I can see all the molecules. Can't you see it? See it?
Hold on, I'm just going to send a quick tweet. To finish. Alright, this is our first stream where we're also streaming to YouTube. Oh, this isn't gonna send out. That's okay. Looks like we got a minute anyway, because, here, I'll do it for my phone. I'm just waiting for some people to show up while, you know, get this model in the view. So, a couple of announcements while I'm just getting this ready. I started something new on the Patreon this week, and that is Tips of the Day, which actually are like articles of the day. So it's like almost a blog. Not what I actually intended from the get-go, but it's flowing, so we'll go with it. It's been pretty cool, I gotta say. Today I did a whole discussion about building this base from scratch, or, you know, making this base. Now we're gonna paint it, and you'll get to see that, but it does allow me to cover all sorts of interesting topics as they come up throughout the day, because I can schedule the post. So we'll see how this goes. I set up the YouTube account like 2 weeks ago, but I haven't really done any testing. I haven't really done anything, so I'm not exactly sure how well YouTube is going to work. But it's my fourth platform, so if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Got plenty of other ways to watch me. Alright, let's get to this. So, a couple things. I don't know if I have one here. No, I don't think I do. Not in the room. I did start painting up my terrain for Warcry, and I think what I'm going to do is actually borrow the color scheme from my Warcry terrain for this. The other thing that I want to keep in mind is I want to keep in mind the Warcry boards. So I have the boards here to take a look at when I'm picking out colors. Now, for this board, this is the Mausoleum board. Instead of doing dirt, what I could do is I could do these sort of dark blue-gray, gravelly colors here on the outside. That's not a bad idea. The other option is that on the other side of these boards, you can see here that there's this tan sort of blasted landscape. It's not a lot of the similar type dirt texture though, and I don't think I'm going to prefer to use these boards. This board side is more useful when you're combining boards, because every board for the game on the opposite side has this sort of blasted waste, so you can combine them all. Hey Medic, how's it going? So I think I may opt not to try to match this side. Now I have the other board from the starter set, and this again is also neutral colors. So again, if I stay with grays and blue-grays for the area outside of the cobble, that might work really well. You can see that there. So it helps to keep those things in mind, because yes, this is a piece that I'm entering into a competition. Oh, thanks for backing me up in regards to Captain Con. And I did send them an email this morning. They sent me a message on Facebook Messenger and said, hey, we're interested, why don't you email us back some thoughts and details and stuff, so. Because I really have failed at my mission in 2019 to teach at a con. I got really, really, really close, but I actually had to cancel at another con. Not for any reason having to do with the painting classes, actually, but because of the tournament that they were asking me to run for them. And I just opted. Oh, I didn't feel comfortable with them, with that organizer, so I just decided to, before it got too far along, to just cancel. I was like, nah, you guys are making me scared now, so. Basing techniques and such, for instance, there's always some stuff I'd enjoy learning. Oh, cool. Yeah, and I did a basing tip of the day. I don't know if you heard this earlier. I don't know if... Are you a patron on my Patreon? There's, I'm doing tips of the day every day now, or at least 5 days a week. I did a whole article today about how I made this base with pictures. And we can talk about that if you want. You let me know. Oh, an angry cat! Oh, did they fix this? Did they actually show the angry cats now? That's much better. That's much better. It used to just be like, it used to show the running zombie and be like, Stochastic Cynic sent an angry cat. Like, yeah, but I don't see the angry cat. You're not angry, are you? I hope that's not like... The interesting thing I find with the Mixer stickers is, unlike PogChamp and Kappa and like certain... You're just animating, nice. Certain emotes... Oh, that's why. That's why. That makes sense. There's certain things on Twitch that the emote has a certain meaning, right? It's very obvious. The thing with the stickers on Mixer is I can't tell if they mean anything. Most of them are just cool. Yeah, that's right. You're one. I'm sorry, I don't know the whole list. I waffled over suggesting including a picture of the tip of a paintbrush with every tip. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea, actually. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is blow a bunch of shit everywhere. I'm gonna get some color on... Just block in some color before we go crazy. I think what I'd like to do... It's actually easiest to mask off the top than it is easier to mask off the sides. It's fine. We'll do the sides first. So, I think I want to start with... I'm going to probably wash it down, but I want to start with some sort of dark blue gray. Go to another gray, probably with a dry brush. I'm actually, think for shadow purposes, I think I'm going to start with dark sea blue. Again, this is for this model. If you haven't seen this model, I'm entering this in a painting contest on Saturday. It's going to stay at the shop for a week and be voted upon by the denizens of the store. I have no idea whether it's going to be everybody who walks in there, or if they're going to be like, hey, Magic Kids, why don't you vote on the model? Or if it's just going to be like whoever wants to vote votes. The thing is, I don't know anybody at that store yet. I'm very new there. So if it does wind up becoming a popularity contest, I'm going to lose. But that's okay. I don't mind losing. Now, whatever. I'm doing this for fun, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to paint this model for my own collection. Anyway, this is for my own Warcry team, so I know wherever I go to play Warcry, I'm gonna have one of the best looking leaders, no matter what. So, and we painted this up on my birthday. I also am looking around, and I don't see where my airbrush dinner is, but I have 2 models of it. Here's one. Just in a meeting. Sorry, meeting lady. So, why am I on early today rather than at 6 o'clock? The answer is, Magic Kids, can I tap it for 1 colorless mana? No. Then screw that noise. Did you see the announcement? No, I don't follow Magic, but did you see the announcement about the changes to boosters? It's kind of interesting. It reminds me in some ways of Games Workshop's like 3 ways to play. Like, hey, we're going to accommodate every type of player. Basically what it is they're still going to have the old style of boosters, the 15 card boosters, and they're going to be called draft boosters. And then they're sort of expanding upon a type of booster they introduced a couple cycles back that is like specific to certain types of decks that you can buy, and it'll have. Oh, I forgot. I actually have 2 of these because I made a second base. Oh, I forgot to prime this. Crap. Alright, well, crap. Alright, I forgot I made 2. Because this is going to be for my Luminate. We could do them both at the same time, but I have to prime this first. But I already put paint in this, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this part. Then we'll prime this, and then we'll get them both going together. And then fixing the fact that Magic is still paid away. No, of course not. They're actually making it worse. So, the draft decks, the boosters that are going to be used for drafts are not changing. But they also are now going to have collector's boosters, which basically are going to suck for drafting, or probably suck for drafting. And I don't know if they cost more or whatever, but they're like more likely to have. They're mostly foils. It's like, oh, you like foils? Do you not draft? Do you not buy a million boosters, or you just want to get a bunch of foils? Here's the type of booster pack for you. I think it has a different number of cards too. I don't remember. I don't play Magic. I never have. So I looked at the announcement yesterday, but it didn't register with me like super deeply. I didn't pay extra fine attention to it. I overthinned this a little bit. Watch as Wizards of the Coast continue to roll around in their... Yeah, of course. And Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro. So it's really Hasbro. Who is headquartered here in Providence, actually. So this is where we're going to start. I will wash it down, and then we will dry brush it. Alright, let's get that out of my airbrush, and then I'll prime the other model, and then, or the other base. The other base isn't even painted yet. The model that's going to go on that base isn't painted. It's not as big a deal. But we've got a couple of hours. Hey, Rifaholic, how's it going? Taco, thank you for that. The reason I'm streaming early today is because I got a call from a friend who's on vacation, him and his wife. And they were like, hey, do you want to meet at such and such a place for dinner tonight? I was like, yes. Well, yes, I do. He was like, I know you're streaming, but maybe you want to go? I was like, hell yeah, I'll move stream, dude. Because it's a place I've been hearing about for a long, long time. I think I've been hearing about it just from them. I don't know if anybody else told me about it. Medic, have you ever heard of Wright's Chicken Farm? It is an interesting thing. Hey, what's up, Rob, King of the Plants? So Wright's Chicken Farm is a place here in New England that does a type of meal or dinner that I didn't even know about. Apparently there's a tradition going back to like the Depression of family-style chicken dinners. It's a New England thing, but it's a New England thing I've never heard of. And I guess it came from Italian immigrants, but there would be places where they'd have these big family-style roasted chicken dinners, and I think it's pretty much all you can eat. I think it's like kind of like a buffet because it is family style, except if you get the steak. If you get a steak, you get one steak. As far as chicken, I think you just eat what you want. It comes with pasta, salad, whatever. It's like $14, not including beverages. But works for me. Sounds great. So I'm gonna meet him over there. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that we're meeting there at 6, and I'm leaving from the city, the small city. Barely a city, but it's still a city. It's like a half hour away, so... But it's also rush hour. If I leave at 5, then I enter the worst of rush hour traffic, and probably didn't save myself any time. Probably left a half hour early to add a half hour to my thing. Tabled service. Oh, okay, all you can eat tabled service. It's not a buffet. It's all you can eat, but it's at a table. See, that's awesome. There's Dead Zone. Why does, what do you mean that shit, Kinetic Medic? You're not interested in it? That doesn't sound good to you? Hey, what's up, Half Damage? Guys, Reefaholic is one of my fellow mini painters on Mixer. There's a few apparently, but I only know of him and Redzy. And most evenings, kind of late at night, I'm guessing they're both West Coast. I hang out with one or both of them. They're both really cool. So if you are on Mixer, give a follow to Mr. Reefaholic. Click on his name. We are also right the very now streaming. Oh, thank you for the host, Reefaholic. We're streaming on YouTube. I don't expect anybody to find my random ass YouTube channel. I don't even know how to find it. I don't know how to use YouTube Live. Can I be honest about that? I don't know. I mean, I know how to stream to it, but I don't know how to use it as a viewer, and I think that's probably the same situation a lot of people are in, which is probably why YouTube Live sucks. Do you recall my complaint that all food in Rhode Island is baked chicken, oily salad? I do remember that! Oh, you're right! You are absolutely right, Kinetic Medic. And at the time, I didn't understand it, because I was like, I've never had baked chicken, oily salad, french fries, and pasta with tomato sauce. But I'm gonna do it today. I'm so confused by... Oh, I know why you've been promoted. It's because your name changed. It's like, how are you promoted? But I thought I already changed your hours. Maybe I didn't combine it. I'll have to combine it so you get your hours back. Because you have, like, 1,000 hours. I'm gonna go see if I can find you. Oh, on YouTube? Oh, this is the wrong base. Please don't prime the base that's already primed. So, I don't mind discussing it, but I actually did a tip of the day on Patreon today discussing how I made these bases in detail. So if you are a patron at any level, you can go check that out and learn how to make these types of bases yourself. Prime up the second one. I might as well, if I can do one, I can do two, so might as well get this one primed, paint them both at the same time. Now, this base here is going to be for anyone who doesn't hear this model that I'm entering in the competition on Saturday. Because I'm entering the competition on Saturday, it means I want to varnish this tomorrow, which means I need to get the base done today. So that's why we're doing this right now. I'm regular again, needs more fiber. I think the name of the channel is Houndstooth Miniature Painting. I don't even remember, in all honesty. I have no freaking idea for YouTube what I even set up. It's not helpful for... the thing with YouTube is, like, I'm not planning on pushing it. I just figure people might randomly find me on YouTube and then probably move to Mixer D Live, Twitch, or... yeah, Mixer D Live or Twitch. That's what I'm thinking is probably going to happen, but who knows. I'll put more effort into YouTube at a later date. Oh, it does have your hours. Okay, that's weird. It still didn't count you as a regular, but it does know you're a Keeper of Dark Secrets, so that's... Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, no, it does make sense. Acolyte of the Lesser Elements, wait. So you have, like, 800 hours. 819 hours. Something like that. Thank you for being... We were talking about this the other day. Somebody came into the chat and was asking me, who were your first 5 viewers? Do you remember who they were? And I was like, I don't remember all 5, I think. But I do know that the big early supporters, the 5 early supporters that I remember, Medic, maybe you remember one I don't remember. I remember you, Busy Builder, JK Searles, Sato, and then I think Sonic Spork. After that, there was like Technocat, Grimly, a bunch of other people, but in the very beginning, I want to say it was you, Medic. Can't find it. Let me see if I'm even on. I don't think I'm live. Maybe this isn't working. Hold on. Doesn't appear to be working. I'm not going to worry about it because, sending data. It says online. The channel is called Houndstooth Miniature Painting. Maybe try Houndstooth Miniature Painting live. I'm going to see if I can find myself. Nope. I honestly don't know how to find myself. I don't know how YouTube Live works. I think you have to go to like the live channel. Oh wait, create a video. I actually don't know how to do this. Wait, hold on. Did I? I'm not sure what I did. There might be more to streaming to this than I remembered. Click on this thing. Go live. Camera cannot be accessed. Right, because it's being used by another application. Not. Create a title. Painting. Faces. Public. People in blogs. Here, I don't know if this is gonna work. I have no idea if it's gonna work. Gaming. If you don't, the first step is choosing download streaming software. Copy. I don't know. Hold on, guys. I don't want to belabor this. Why is this? I thought this was set up already. It should. Yeah, no. Restream should already have all my info. I don't know. I'm gonna deal with this later. Alright, so it didn't work. That's fine. I don't really care. It's working on DLive and YouTube. You can see me on YouTube, Sato? You found me on YouTube Live. Okay. So I am on YouTube Live. Sweet. I have no idea how that works. It looks like the same stream is the only thing on that channel currently. Yeah, the same stream. It is pretty much the only thing. Other than that's pretty much it. It's not a YouTube. I'm not doing videos. Link above. There you go. Yes, sir. All your beauty. Thank you, Sato. So that's a thing. I literally don't know how do you find videos on YouTube Live? This is a real question. I really don't know. Asking for a friend. Someone's gonna have to explain to me how YouTube Live works. I honestly don't get it. The even navigating to my own damn channel to like put in information was impossible. few new episodes of Good Eats. Site youtube.com Houndstooth Ninja Painting. You might need to update the English on your investigator tier. Okay. There's an English problem. Let's see what's going on there. I hate to do this right now, but I will probably not remember this later, so take a quick look. Oh. Okay. No, that sounds bad. Investigator. This tier, yes, that is bad. There's probably copy and pasting or something. Alright, fixed. Alright, cool. Alright, getting back to what I'm doing. Sounds like me. Hey, what's up, Flying Monkey? How are you? We're doing an early stream. I might also do a late stream, but I am gonna go stuff myself with baked chicken and greasy salad, or whatever it is that medicates. I totally get it now. It's so funny how these things come full circle. When you said it, I remembered, but I had forgot that you had made that comment, Medic. And Medic, do you remember who the first 5 were? Am I right? It was, the first 5 were you, Builder, Sato, JK, and Spork? Greasy salad? That sounds like it's made wrong. Well, it just has a lot of dressing on it. Or that's what I'm being told. I don't know if it's actually true. I'm excited either way. Greasy salad sounds great to me. Hey, Medic, not Medic, Dead Zone, the one thing I'm a little concerned with is traffic. I'm gonna leave early, but the earlier I leave, the closer I'm leaving to 5, so I don't think that really helps me. Because the thing is, I'm leaving in the direction from Providence to rural Rhode Island, which is gonna be the direction where the traffic's gonna be the worst. So if you don't see me, it's because I'm running a little late. It's only 146, but that's exactly my point, too. 146 is only 2 lanes. It's oil and vinegar. That's 80% cheap oil. Nice. Sounds good. I can't wait. How's the baked chicken? I'm looking forward to some baked chicken. Bring it on, man. I could eat for the week. Flying Monkey Paints, how are you doing, man? How are your projects going? Alright, we're getting caught up on this base to get it caught up to this base, and then we're going to paint both of these bases. When this base is mostly painted, we're going to take off the things, and then we're going to put this model on it, this fancy little beast, and finish it up, and then tomorrow I'll varnish it, and Saturday I'll take it to the store. Same here, traffic will suck, meet by the gift shop. Okay, you'll find that easy. Yeah, sure it will. It sounds like one of those places with a ginormous gift shop. Been out of the loop. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Flying Monkey. Oh, so I'm just now getting back to painting. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's tough to deal with. My sympathies. At Houndstooth Mini, stick to the white meat parts. Less chance of food poisoning. Are you? Oh man, you are not selling me on this, which is fine. I already knew your feelings on this. Wow. Stick to the white meat parts. Less chance of food poisoning. You really think I'm gonna get food poisoning? So I did a tip of the day on Patreon on how to make these bases, or kind of the whole thought process is behind making a base. So if you are a patron, you can go check that out, and you can read it. Any patron at any tier, $1 a month is enough to unlock all the tips of the day. We're aiming for 5, aiming for at least 5 a week. And probably most weeks I'll do 7. I'll probably do them every day. I'm starting to realize that I'm never going to run out of them. So, I think there was a point at which, earlier in the week, I was like, am I going to run out of all sorts of good stuff to talk about? The answer is no. I don't think I ever will. Thanks everybody. Not trying to bring. No. Hey man, listen. You know what? In any community, there's always going to be somebody that's going through some shit, and it doesn't bring everybody down. It's just part of the natural process of being part of a community. You realize that somebody's going through something shitty at all times, and at some point, it's going to be you, or maybe it is you. You know, you get what I'm saying. All right. Let's start. See, blew it up. So I'm using my detail airbrush for everything because I'm still waiting for my nozzle to come in tomorrow. I was hoping my magnets and my nozzle will show up today, but they're both showing up tomorrow. The new chair is coming on Monday, and I've started doing a lot of research on getting a bearded dragon later in the fall. Hopefully before it gets too cold outside, because I might have to get it shipped. But it should be an overnight ship, because I think I'm going to use a breeder in Pennsylvania. Daichu Dragons. Yeah, Occam's Laser Ray. I agree. It's a great name. I think there's a non-zero chance of it, sadly. It's mass quantities of inexpensive food for blue-collar masses. I wouldn't expect the quality to hold steady throughout. Yeah, no, I hear you. Listen, anytime... Have I ever told you some of my favorite food poisoning stories? My favorite food poisoning stories? What the hell are you talking about, Houndstooth? I've got food poisoning stories, and I will tell you, my favorite is probably how there was a place that I've gone to 2 or 3 times, I think twice. I think only twice, but maybe it was 3 times. I've gotten food poisoning there from there twice. Classic exotoxin A food poisoning from staff. It's exactly the symptoms. Basically, exactly 8 hours after you eat, explosive vomiting. Like 8 hours to the minute, and I was explosive vomiting. It happened twice. I still went back there. You know why? Because the best frickin' barbecue in all of New York City. Oh yeah, Velotalk is awesome. Hey, what's up, Dexium? Oh, I'm glad you like Velotalk. They're one of my favorites. I don't know what's up with them. I know, I haven't really been paying too much attention. I know, maybe 2 years ago, their singer left, and I don't know if they replaced him or what. I saw them in 2013 on the Mayor tour, and it was one of the best shows I ever saw in my life. How about the hike? Black/blueberry explosion. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That wasn't food poisoning. That was irritable bowel / too much fermenting food. It fits in the same category. See, I'm glad you remember that one, Ubereems. Yeah. Check local shelters. You'd be surprised what gets put up for adoption. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I should check some local shelters for bearded dragons too. I do kind of want to get a young one from a breeder, but I see the value in adoption as well. I hate vomiting. Luckily, oh man, I wish I could say I haven't done it in a while. It was only last Friday. Yes, they have a new singer. Oh, that probably means they're working on new stuff, which makes me super excited because they're one of my favorite bands. They're super, super cool. There's such a... I remember one time I was, a couple years ago, I was in a bar in Brooklyn, and I'd never known about this bar. We were there with some people that were too cool for me and my friend. They were super cool. They were like, hey, let's go to this bar. So we go to this bar, and it's pretty cool. And we're sitting there at the bar. It's pretty late at night, and I don't know, it's like 2:30 in the morning. And all of a sudden, they're playing a Velotalk album from beginning to end. Not even just a couple songs on random or whatever. They're playing a whole album. I was like, oh god, I love this bar. I don't remember the name of it though. Hi Hounds, loving the tips of the day on your site. Thanks, man. I gotta post. I don't think I've posted on Facebook that we're doing it. So hey, for anybody, I hate to sell people, but I do have to promote a little bit. So for anybody that doesn't know, I canceled my affiliate agreement with Twitch, and I'm now streaming to Twitch, YouTube, DLive, and Mixer all at the same time. We're reaching a larger audience. We're trying to build communities in those places. Trying to do some broader stuff. But that does mean I lost all monetization from Twitch, which honestly I was pretty okay with. But on the flip side, I was kind of hoping some more people would want to support me on Patreon. Well, it didn't work out exactly as I had hoped. We've only, of the 45 or so subs that were not already patrons, at the end of my affiliate agreement, only 3 people went over to Patreon. I knew it wasn't going to be most of them, but I was hoping for 10. So, if you are at all interested in supporting this stream to make sure that it continues to happen, consider joining the Patreon. You can join at any level, and any dollar amount. You want to throw in $1, $1 a month, that's totally fine. And nothing gets charged until September 1st. Also, I'm now taking the time to put in tips of the day every day, and as probably Fisher King or somebody else can tell you, they're the ones I've done so far, a lot of them have been pretty lengthy. So they're not just like, hey, you should wash your brush. Although I do reserve the right to do 1 sentence tips of the day, should I find a sentence that is, I feel, worthy of being a tip of the day. Is it monthly or can I pay in advance? It's monthly on the 1st. So you get charged on the 1st every month, and it's monthly, and you can change it at any time. You don't get charged when you start. So if you pledge today, you'll have access to all of the tips of the day, and you won't even get charged until the 1st of September. So if you really want to cheat, not that I'm advising you to do so, but you could sign up today and cancel on the 30th, and you'll still get to read all the tips of the day, both past and through the 30th. Just saying. My fun food. Hold on. You saw them live this summer? Oh shit! I didn't even know they were around. Okay, that means there's probably even an album that I'm not even aware of. Now I'm super sad and super excited. Dexium74, you've made my day. Very powerful. I will. Do you want me to retell that story, Uber Eames? Because I will retell that story. My fun food poisoning story, says Medic, is that we were given Boston Market food the night after my dad passed away. We all ate the food, and my mom got horrible food poisoning from it, yet I was fine. There's a reason we nicknamed it Boston Barfit. Oh, jeez. Too cool for Red Houndstooth minis? Impossible. No, that's not impossible, I'll tell you. Spend any time in, like, Brooklyn, you'll find places that are too cool for 90% of the human population. Rob King of the Plant says, there was a place next to my school that made you expect food poisoning. We went there every lunch break because it was cheap and food poisoning would have meant going home. Oh, that's awesome. Tomorrow's tip of the day has now been spoiled. Save that money. Just signed me up on Patreon. Oh, thanks, man. Same as Twitch sub and a much bigger percentage for you. That's true. Hey, Dancer! What's going on? How are ya? Dancer, do you stream on Mixer? I probably asked you this before. Now what I'm going to do is I want to grab my silly putty. Ba-ba-da-ba. Here's one of them. I think I've got another one hanging around here, but this should be enough. How are you, Dancer? Hope you're having a good day. Streaming a little early today because I'm going to go out for dinner with a friend, and that started a conversation about food poisoning. If you have any food poisoning or vomiting or diarrhea stories you want to share, I guess that's what we're doing today. Yes, so I do get a bigger portion of the money with Twitch subs. You know what? This actually has nothing to do with me. I was talking to a friend who's from somewhere. I don't know where. I'm assuming Europe, but I don't actually know. She keeps it a secret. And she was telling me that for her, when she gets Twitch subs, because of the country she's in, she actually only gets 22%. She only gets, so if you sub to her channel for $5, she only gets a little less than $1. Or a little more than $1? $1. Browsing at MO4 Inspiration. I'm good. Thank you. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing alright, man. So anyway, yeah, I used to get 44% of Twitch subs, but I get 90 to 95% of Patreon pledges, and it offers a lot more support. I also just changed the tiers a little bit. The big changes were that tier 4 subs at every 4 months get a mini that I paint for them of my choosing, so it's not really a commission, it's just I'll paint a model for them. And I added a tier 5 where you can get a model that I will paint for you every month. It's an expensive tier, but you get a model every month. It's a model subscription service for $55. Plotsylvania. What's Plotsylvania? Alright, so I'm gonna mask off the outside. and then we're going to airbrush the tops. I'm going to use some similar colors as I did to my Warcry terrain. When I take the pictures to put on Instagram and show everybody, I'm actually probably going to pose the model in front of my Warcry terrain. Plotsylvania, the name of the new Bella Talk album? Now when I use inks, and I may use some inks here in a moment, through an airbrush, I like to add a little matte medium and then thin it, and the reason I do that is because that little extra bit of matte medium helps to make the film a little bit more durable. When you don't do that, what can happen is it's a little bit more easily reactivated, so even when it's dry to the touch, if it's not fully cured, if you get it wet again, it can move around or be rubbed off. So I like to just add a little bit. Oh, okay. You're in the UK. The mystery Plotsylvania, the mystery European country homeland of our trials of infamous Moose and Squirrel. Yeah, exactly, right? Yes, correct. Speaking of which, Moose and Squirrel, you guys should go check out my friend Red Katana. Sholin started watching her. He really likes her channel. She's really funny. She's hilarious. So you should definitely give her a check out on Twitch. So Romania? Yeah, basically, right? Okay, inks. Grab some inks. So I have them hidden over here. And I've got 3 inks that I use for my Warcry terrain, and I'm gonna grab those out. We'll start with that. These are the 3 inks. The 3 inks that I used for the Warcry terrain. We might not use them exactly the same, but we're going to start with Marine Blue. Now, you don't have to thin these very much, because these inks are already super thin. So when you use them in an airbrush, you can just pretty much spray them. But like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of matte medium for durability purposes more than anything else. I just have to get up and find and reach my matte medium, which I don't see. Hold on. Stand by. I don't know where I misplaced on my matte medium. The big bottle. Probably why I moved it out of the way. Means I now don't see it. Now I used to have, I ran out of it and didn't buy more yet, but I used to have this airbrush medium, Liquitex airbrush medium. That stuff was really fantastic. Big fan. God damn it. Hold on. Stand by. It's a big bottle. Alright, I have some other matte medium. I can use this older matte medium until I find the giant golden fluid acrylic matte medium bottle. It's so big that when I find it, I'm gonna laugh. But why I didn't see it. Or I'm gonna cry that I have so much stuff that I covered up. It's so messy in here right now. You ever know that feeling when it's like, how did I misplace that? That thing is the size of a grapefruit. Okay. What the hell? Mixer lagging? Is Mixer lagging? Been happy with all streams I visit. Damn. Oh, I'm sorry. Can anybody else confirm if they're having Mixer issues? I don't see any drop frames on my end right now. Performance metrics. They changed Streamlabs OBS. It looks pretty steady here. Alright. Moose and Squirrel. Oh, tangentially on my brain, there's a used game auction going down this weekend at my LFGS. Anything you're looking for, I should keep an eye out for? Yeah. Let me know if you see any Arkham Horror, the card game, not the base set. The base set's the one thing I don't care about because I already have 2 of them. But if anybody is getting rid of an Arkham Horror, the card game set that has a couple of the campaigns, I have the Dunwich campaign. It's the other campaigns that I'm really looking for. That would be Path to Carcosa, Forgotten Circle, whichever one came after that. If you see any of that stuff, I'm interested for sure. And give me a message, and I'll try to figure something out. Other than that, I'm not really looking for anything in particular. The one thing I really want to catch up on is that, and then beyond that, I kind of would like to get a little bit caught up on Warhammer Underworlds. I'm a little bit behind. I'm a little bit behind, and the new set is coming out in like a month or 2. It's gray, but it looks kind of cool. Alright, getting my ink mixed up with this matte medium. The matte medium's kind of thick, so you gotta get it nice and mixed up. Then I will back flush it. How about a Forge World Knight? I heard there's one of those. Oh, you mean there's gonna be models? You aren't tired of Knights yet? Oh, I'm totally tired of Knights. I'm not really tired of Knights yet. I'm a little sad that the airbrush wasn't working and I had to wait all week for a new primer or nozzle. Alright, this is going to take a second to dry a little bit, and I'll apply another layer. I'll also blow a little air on it to try to get it to dry a little faster. Have you ever used Vallejo air paints? I have not used the game air, but I've used a lot of the model air. I've used a lot of the model air, and they're okay, but I don't really care for them. Where I'm at with airbrush paints right now is I generally prefer to just use Vallejo airbrush thinner or Vallejo flow improver or both, and regular paints. It's just better. Yes, it's a little more work, but I get what I want. You aren't tired of Knights yet? Oh god, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not, but it's a lot. I don't want to take on more for sure. All right, so now just blow a little air. That's the beauty of a double action airbrush, is you can spray air or paint independently. Well, not really paint, but you can control the air and you can control the paint separately. Sometimes you can just spray air without spraying any paint, and that can help you dry up a layer quickly before you go on to the next layer. Now I'm going to spray another layer here quickly. Try to darken this up with this blue. Okay. We'll give that a little time, then I'll hit that with a little bit of air. So I'm planning on what minis to get and how to paint them, and I thought it might be fun not getting Citadel paint, but rather bog standard paint from the hardware store and mixing different of them together to get the right color and storing them in little screw bottles, not for airbrush. Mixer Love, hey, thanks, Danster. Thank you for the sparks. So, here's my thoughts on that, Rob King of the Plants. So, you're perfectly alright using any other acrylic paint other than hobby paints. However, there are some advantages to hobby paints over some other types of paints. Now, craft store paints, and I don't know what type of paints you're talking about from the hardware store, but craft store paints, like Apple Barrel, similar, that you might get at Walmart or Michael's or anything like that, they are of a lesser quality. They generally don't use the same high quality pigments, and they don't grind them as well. So the pigments aggregate and kind of, they're chunky. They don't go on as smooth. Okay, I don't know about your hardware store paints, but there's a strong possibility that your hardware store paints might be similar. Now, your hardware store paints, I don't know which ones you're talking about. But you want to make sure you're dealing with acrylic paints, and not like latex paints or enamel paints, because that's going to be a lot harder to learn on, and it's not going to work exactly the same way. So make sure you're dealing with water-based acrylics, and it's, you know what can be cheaper that sometimes I even use, just artist acrylics of any kind, fluid, inks. I bought these Heavy Bodies on sale. When they were reduced, it was normally $8.24 at Hobby Lobby, but as we know, Hobby Lobby prices were inflated anyway. But $2.24 was still a good deal. So $2.24, I got a whole bunch of these. I think I got a bunch of them at $2.24, some at $2.70, and a couple of them at like $1.70. But the paint in here is super, super thick, and you can then thin this out with water or a little bit of medium in water, and you'll have something very similar to hobby paints. The main difference is that these paints will not have the additives to make them look matte. These paints are going to come out pretty glossy. But you can change that after the fact by using something like Tester's Bell Coat Spray. How's the model going? Which model? This model? The model that you saw me painting last time? It's ready to be based. That's why we're putting the bases together. Here, I'll show you real quick the model that that this is for anybody that just came in. This model is pretty much done now. I'm gonna varnish it, gonna give it another look over, but I'm pretty happy with it. Just last night I did the liquid coming out of the Doom Globe turning into smoke, and I did the little red bits in between the hair and the piece there. Thanks, guys. Yeah, the freehand was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. We've got these mouths eating at these tentacles. We've got all these eyes. So is that this 11 eyes, I think? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 eyes. Is anybody old enough to remember a Nintendo Entertainment System game called, was it called 8x8 Eyes? Does anybody remember? It was a crazy game, and it was kind of like an action platformer. It kind of had some Castlevania, Prince of Persia type stuff going on, but also you could play as the Hawk. There was a guy who had a Hawk, and I think like the second player could use the other controller and play as the Hawk. The one you were prepping last time. Oh, the big robots. When was the last time you were here? On Tuesday? Tuesday I was prepping the big robots, I believe, and that those models are not much has changed. Thanks, Fisher King. So as I was saying earlier, I think I finished the idea, but I'm not sure. Yeah, well, again, thank you to Flying Monkey Paints. If anybody does want to support the stream, even though I did remove the sub button from Twitch, supporting through Patreon is huge. Hey, JK Shows, thank you for the follow. Oh, on Mixer, sweet. I was like, what? Did you unfollow me, bro? You had 9 of them. Yeah, those are the knights, and I am right now for those parts that you saw on Tuesday. I'm waiting until tomorrow because I'm getting a new airbrush nozzle in tomorrow. This airbrush can't handle that much work. Wow, it can't even handle what I'm doing right now. So this is like supposed to be just for like detail work. This particular airbrush. It doesn't really do bulk stuff very well, and it doesn't handle primers or varnishes very well, which is why it's kind of gooped up right now, because since it's the only airbrush I have at the moment, I sprayed both of those things through it, and it doesn't like it. Yeah, thanks for that follow, JK. James? You prefer Mixer? Yeah, so do I. And I'm using the FTL protocol too, so as long as it's stable, we should be getting lower latency on Mixer. Oh, thank you! Yeah, so we're now I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, we're now multi-streaming. I'm no longer a Twitch affiliate, but I'm now multi-streaming to Twitch, YouTube, DLive, and Mixer. Trying to clear some of this garbage from the nozzle. It's kind of working. Hold on. Do some weird stuff off cam that you can't see. Try to clear. There's definitely hardened, semi-hardened primer now in here. That's part of the problem. But it's coming out, which is good. There we go. That's much better. Use a little bit of alcohol to loosen it up. You have a lot of sparks. I know sparks accumulate quickly. I've only been on Mixer for like 2 weeks, and I've been spending them like crazy, but I still have like 160,000. Did Mixer pay you 50 million? No. Mixer paid me nothing. They will. We don't know that. Do we know? Has it actually been released? I don't think so. It's totally a rumor that it's 50 mil. I don't think it's been confirmed in any sort of semi-official way or reliable by a reliable source. People are speculating up to 50 mil. So I will say this: I started since I've moved to Mixer, and Ninja moved to Mixer, which actually was around the same time, which was actually coincidence. I've actually started watching a Ninja on Mixer a little bit. I don't mind the guy actually, because I can't watch PewDiePie for shit. I can't do it. I can't watch PewDiePie. That guy's a fucking dick. But Ninja, I can watch Ninja. Ninja, it's fun and interesting to watch him, how he relates to the game, like how he thinks through it and talks through it, and manages his wins and losses, and just plays hard. And I don't really think too much about esports, but when I watch Ninja play, I get that sense of like an athlete like preparing for his game. I heard $50 million from many sources, no firm numbers, but yeah. Well, I think that $50 million has just been going around. All right, take care, Danster. Yeah, have a good one. You'll if you're interested in those robots, you'll see them again soon, probably tomorrow. I heard $50 million from many. Alright, I read that. Coffee cup. Thanks for the. I'm assuming that was sparks or more sparks or sticker. Thank you for that. I actually don't have Mixer open at the moment. Hold on, I should fix that. Currently, the gamer I enjoy watching, says Medic et al. Is Patty, specifically when he's doing couch commentary for an AGDQ run. Yeah, there's been some HGTQ stuff this week, right? I've been watching little bits here and there. Specifically when he's doing couch oops, there we go. Oh, there's the coffee cup. Oh yeah, 900 sparks. I have that too. What level are you at now, JK Searles? Are you like level 125? I'm only up to 51, but I've only been at this for like 2 or 3 weeks. Alright, I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of cerulean blue at an angle, and then we're gonna hit it with a little bit of magenta, okay? Yeah, no, I saw Dancer stickers. I didn't know he was sending stickers. I don't think I saw all of those. That's weird. Did some of them not show up in the chat, or... Oh, hold on, let me take a look. Oh, I did see them. Never mind. Cool, Kate. Emergence hole. Hey, you know what? I don't even know. What are those, Oh, that's probably why he left. It's like, he didn't acknowledge my stickers. Oh, hey, Sarcastic Cynic, thank you so much for that. What game are these featured stickers from? I don't even recognize them. Does anybody know? There's these new featured stickers, but I don't know what they are. Super Metroid Randomized Run? That sounds cool. 49. I only watch when they give things away. Fair enough. Yeah, they're doing this big promotion on DLive right now, actually all week and including Saturday. So Saturday, I have to go to the store to drop off this competition model. It's going to take a little while because it's a half hour away. But they don't open till noon. But D-Live's doing a thing and they're giving away money. You know, they're trying to get people to stream over there and watch over there. They're doing one of those like, sarcastic cynic. You go, oh, is that Gears of War? Okay. They're doing one of these things where it's like you earn an element every time you do one of whatever's. There's a bunch of things you can do to earn an element, and if you get all 4 elements, you get part of $10,000, depending on how many people participate. But there's already 500 winners, so it's probably going to be around 1,200 people splitting $10,000. So it's not like you're earning a ton of money. The Funko Pop mobile game. What the hell? Hey, Rowdy Miss Merrily, how's it going? One of my D-Live fam. Also, you may remember her from, such films as Rowdy Souls. Rowdy Souls being my favorite Newgrass band. And my favorite band on D-Live or Twitch. Oh, there we go. Ink Spray. This is like the slowest stream ever. You're mostly just staring at faces while I fiddle with airbrush parts. Torquemidas, what's going on? So this is a surprise. It's okay. Thanks, man. Your favorite mini painter, so is that, yeah. Dude, I love the drumming streams too. You gotta tell Marcus, I think he knows, but the drumming streams are cool. Fire truck! Man, I missed that one. That zone's got bigger monitors for me too. We're gonna switch up my monitor setup. I don't even remember asking for it, but he was like, hey, I got bigger monitors for you. Okay, cool. I don't even have room for them, but whatever. I'll take up more table space for giant monitors. Why not? I actually kind of trashed this one, so it's actually a pretty good thing. We're so stoked when you start doing this D-Live again. No, it's really cool. He loves it. We just need cool lighting and or something too, though. Yeah, I can't remember the name. I think he's a friend of Marcus. Floop, the drummer guy on Twitch. Unless I'm getting it wrong, and it was some other guy. But I thought that he was friends with Marcus Boneyard Graves. He's a popular drumming streamer. That's something I never thought I'd say. Yeah, so if anybody has more suggestions for tip of the day, let me know. I think two of the tips of the day we've done this week were actually based on suggestions people asked for, or it came up and they were like, oh, that would be a cool tip of the day. It's a Gears of War mobile game with Funko Pop style sprites. I wonder if that's actually fun, but I try not to play free-to-play mobile games. They generally are terrible. I'm not, maybe it's because I'm an old son of a bitch, but I don't really love, like, microtransaction-based games. Just take my $70 and leave me alone. Although, if I spend $70 on the game, I do have a higher expectation. Tip of the day, drill your barrels. Oh god. Oh god. Going on a little drive to the forest. Oh my god. Oh no, you just caught a mouse in a live trap. I thought you were being facetious or something. It's like, no, you actually caught a mouse in a live trap. Okay, cool. Now, you've got to go like 2 miles away, dude, because they follow scent trails. We were both surprised when we stumbled upon his stream. Him streaming. Oh, right, because, yeah, that's... I remember when I might have been there. And you guys were like, didn't I go to high school with this guy or something? It looks interesting. It's almost like a minis game, turn-based, cover matters. Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool. I might have to check that out now. Not what I was expecting. At no point did I think today I was going to say, hey, I should go check out a Gears of War mobile Funko Pop style game. No element of that would have seemed like something I would want. Oh, it just launched today. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I've been seeing the stickers since last weekend or so. This maybe Monday, I don't know. This week. Throughout this week. There's a little creek. Water keeps them off trail. Okay, cool. That's awesome, man. It's nice of you to catch them live. I just kill them. Gears Pop is the name. I'll check it out. You know, so as a little story aside, I've only played Gears of War once. I think it was Gears 2. And I got so sick. So I was playing split screen with a friend. Or Gears 3, I'm not sure. It was a Gears game. And I was playing split screen with a friend, and I get motion sick. From like first-person games or even over-the-shoulder, third-person games. I get really motion sick from some games. And that game that's the worst I've ever gotten motion sick. I remember the first time I got really motion sick like that was when I was a kid and I'd play like Doom or Wolfenstein. Those games used to make me vomit. But, well, they didn't make me vomit because I'd always stop short of vomiting. I just leave the room. Just stop playing. But that game had me on the spins, and I only played it for about 25 minutes, and then I just had the spins, and I was just like, you can play, I'm gonna just lie here on the ground and spin for an hour. I've never been that motion sick ever in my life. I forgot about it. They announced it at E3. I'm gonna download it now and try it. Sweet. Let me know what you think. We saw a kid that looked like Timmy from Passions. Oh, sweet. And we were laughing that you remembered that so too. Oh shit, we haven't talked about that in a long time. I love that you get all the old school stuff, yeah. Dude, Timmy from Passions, holy shit. Taco! Thank you for the taco. Crank Hill Nerd, how you doing today? Holy shit, yeah, Timmy from Passions. So for anybody that does not know what the hell we're talking about, there was a soap opera. Was Passions a half-hour soap opera? I feel like it might have been a half-hour soap opera that was on after the news, but like before Days of Our Lives. It was in a weird spot. Anyway, there was a weird soap opera called Passions. And the funny thing about Passions compared to most of the other shows at the time was that it had like a pretty heavy supernatural element, mostly based around these two characters. There was a witch lady, and she had like a living doll, and the living doll's name was Timmy. And it was weird. It was just so weird. And my mom watched soap operas, and so those channels would be on, during the summer when I'd be home from school or whatever. So occasionally I'd see Passions, and I'd be like, what the hell is this? What is this talking doll? Yeah, Passion. Oh, Jesus. So crazy. So crazy, that show. Alright, so from here on out, we should be able to do everything with dry brushing and whatever, so I think we're done with the airbrush. I'm going to try to finish up these bases. They don't look... Now, here's the thing with bases like this. They don't look like anything like what I'm hoping it's going to look like in the end. It's a lot of steps to get there from here. I remember somebody saying earlier in the week that when they saw me working on my work ride terrain, I can't remember who it was. I think it was maybe Sarcastic Cynic. I don't remember. That when they saw me working on the work ride terrain at the beginning... No, it wasn't. Who was it? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, they thought that it looked crazy. Oh, it was Dead Zone's wife. It was Non-McKenna. She thought it looked crazy, and it did, but it looks crazy until it doesn't. It's just how it goes. It was so creepy. Should we kill people and stuff? Yeah. It was never quite as gothic or like daytime horror-y as like Dark Shadows from the 60s. It never went quite that far. Because, like, Passions was, like, a weird combination of, like, some horror elements and, like, way more steamy than, like, Santa Barbara. It was way sexier than most of the other daytime soap operas of that time. I mean, its name was Passions, so don't be surprised. Alright, we need mint green and Maggot Green. This is the mint green. And hold on. Maggot green should be somewhere. MIA. Here it is. Alright, so we're gonna do some dry brushing. See if we can find an appropriate dry brush. Maybe just try one of these little ones. And this one. Well, was that before or after? I want to say it was before the era in which Marlena in Days of Our Lives was possessed by the devil. See, that was hilarious. For anybody that actually knows anything about daytime soaps. They went straight up, like, supernatural on the show that didn't have supernatural shit. Where, like, this main character who'd been on the show for, like, 20 years already at that point, suddenly was possessed by the devil for, like, an entire year. The writers must have been taking some serious drugs. Like, other people my age... you know what, I think, Sato Apotecario and myself were once joking about it. But how crazy and ridiculous it was. Alright, dry brush getting prepared. So when you prepare your dry brush, you load it up with paint and then remove as much of it as possible. You also need to make sure the brush is actually physically dry. You can see that it's picking up that cobblestone. Wow, it's making it look like dinosaur skin. That's actually pretty cool. It's not gonna, again, we got a ways to go before it looks how I want it to look. So, don't panic. Reload, get most of that paint off. Okay, it isn't turn-based. It's real-time, 3-minute games, and it's pretty sweet. Definitely worth checking out. What's this you're mentioning? Oh, wait. Daytime soap operas? Or, game-wise, Gears Pop. Yeah, for those of us that are on Mixer, we can... Oh, quickly, you can see. Those stickers are for that game, Gears Pop. Those new featured stickers that are currently available. That developer paid Microsoft for the ability to place on the platform. Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for the Spox. 1,000 Spox. I wish they showed up in the restream chat better, but I understand how it works. I gotta keep an eye on each platform and the restream chat. I watch a chat window that has chat from each put together. I mean, obviously, it would be terrible if I actually had to. Oh, Microsoft owns that developer. Oh well, okay, there you go. That makes way too much sense. So you can see how that texture is starting to pop out there, right? And in the end, what's going to happen is when we finish with this base, if you can see these two larger spots there and there, that is masking fluid. But thank you for the lemon! When I take the masking fluid off, I'll be able to glue his feet down to the bare plastic in those spots. I already kind of pre-measured it out, but this guy's going to go on there when I'm done, and this is going to get entered into competition on Saturday. I'm putting you on in the background for a bit, trying to pump out some t-shirt orders. Oh, nice! Yeah, guys, go check out their merch. And also, if you are on DLive, make sure that you check out Righty Souls. Give them a click and follow. I'm putting you... You can actually also follow the Twitch channel, just in case they wind up multi-streaming. I talked to Marcus about it. I don't think they're going to, because they think it's going to be a little bit too hard to monitor chat. And that they might be right. What competition? It's just a local Warcry painting contest. One of the local stores that I've started going to a little bit here and there. They are doing a contest for people. It has to be a single Warcry mini. There's no entry fee if you bought something there, and I did. When I went last week, I bought something there. It's like, cool, your entry is covered, just come drop off your model, and then they'll do in-store voting for a week, and at the the following week they'll have results, and I can pick up my model. Very cool. Good luck. Thanks, man. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's nice of them to do it. So the other thing they were doing that's pretty cool is if you don't have a Warcry model, they probably split a box set or something. They were selling some individual models for $10. Like, here, just you can buy one of these models for $10, and that's your entry into the contest. Then just paint that up and bring it back. I found out about it a few weeks ago because they also had a Warcry tournament last week, but I wasn't ready. I don't have my models ready. It's going to be a while before I do now, especially because the bar got raised. I posted this model, the one that I just showed off, the one that's going to get based here in a minute. I showed this model off on Reddit and some other places, and people were like, well, what are the other ones going to look like? Is it going to be the same scheme? It's like, yeah, it's the same scheme, but the other models don't have as much cloth, so I don't have to do as much freehand. But then the idea came up to do tattoos. So... But I initially had kind of been planning on doing tattoos on the Untamed Beasts. So instead, I'll probably just paint the Untamed Beasts up super, super, super quick, and then do full tattoos on my Cypher Lords. They can't sell their promotional tool to a third party. That's weird. Alright, so now I've got some maggot green. I'm gonna dry brush it again. Be a little bit more selective. I'm gonna build it up kind of slowly. Actually hit this rock with it too, I don't mind. I could probably hit all of the rocks with it, actually. Just looking at, I still have to wash the other parts. Yeah, no, I figured out what you were talking about. I'm surprised. You don't think that they could still sell that promotional tool to third parties? They probably don't have enough other interested third parties given the condition of Mixer anyway. And they have enough in-house stuff, it probably just makes sense to keep it as an in-house tool only. At least for now. I thought it was pretty cool when they popped up. Whenever I saw them, I don't know if it was Monday or over the weekend, whenever they showed up, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It probably would have been a better promotional tool if I had known what the game was, though. Maybe it's just me, but shouldn't there have been some sort of label saying, oh, this is from Gears Pop coming, August 23rd, whatever, August 22nd. Because it wasn't like it built up all this interest and I had to go on the internet and figure out what it was. It was more like, oh, I don't know. And I don't really care until somebody tells me. I did ask, though, so I guess I kind of cared. I did say out loud. I was like, what is this game? Still not quite white enough. Let's try it again. Oh, they've had third-party promotions in the past. Okay. I like Mixer. It's funny because The only reason I passed on Mixer a few months ago, somebody mentioned Mixer to me back right after Adepticon when I started streaming to DLive, and I went and checked out Mixer, and there were the number of actual live streams at the time. Total number of live streams was so low. Like, I felt like I actually browsed them all. I looked at everybody. Like, I looked in the morning. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. But I could actually put eyes on the thumbnail for every live streamer. Maybe I'm exaggerating, or maybe I just missed something. But I felt like that was actually true that day, and I was like, this is nuts. This is a platform with like 40 people streaming on it. That's it. But that's really the only problem with it. Well, I wouldn't say only, but that was the big problem with it that I had at the time when I looked at it. I was like, well, there's just nothing on it. That's the biggest problem anyway. You should see if there's a way to get an on-screen sticker feed. Yeah, I'll have to check and see. My guess is there probably isn't. I mean, I have the sticker feed on this other window, but I have to keep looking over it. Oh, hey, sorry. Well, the thing is, what I really need to do is I get the feed of the words, but it's not the actual sticker. So I see the Robo T-Rex. Thank you for the Robo T-Rex. Thank you for the sparks. What I really need to do is start recognizing the names of all the stickers, because that way when I still see the name in the chat without looking at the Mixer chat. I just have to remember. Like, if I see Taco, I know Taco. It's just a matter of me remembering them all. There might be some other tool though. That's actually a good point. There's probably some web browser application that I can feed into OBS through a browser source that'll put the sticker on the screen. I'll have to dig around for something like that. I'd be surprised if somebody hadn't developed one. But the only reason why maybe somebody hasn't developed one is because of that whole mix play thing, which I haven't really looked into. But I know a lot of the streams on Mixer that I've started going to occasionally do have that whole mix play thing live. It's kind of cool. Alright, I think we're gonna need pure white because it's just not getting white enough for me. Yeah, no, there isn't. There's very, very few settings in the Restream bot at all. I've actually gone through every widget and setting because there's not that many. It's pretty stripped down. It's like Twitch emotes. It writes that out like that, yeah. But your chat feed converts those to icons, right? So basically, the chat feed you're using needs to know what the stickers are, right? Which it probably is never going to do. Because I doubt I don't see any benefit. I don't see any benefit to the Mixer API making that available to other platforms, right? So I would think that the Mixer developers specifically made it so you can't feed the stickers out of the API into other platforms. Kind of steals their thunder a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. Alright, that's better. It does look a little weirdly like dinosaur skin. We'll use some washes to fix that. There's also going to be static brass on this too, so it's going to break up the shapes and everything a little more as well. Alright, washes are coming up next, followed potentially by another dry brush. Yeah, I'm getting some pixelation on mixers. Anybody else getting that? It's not terrible. Here and there. I have to leave around 5, so I've got a little over an hour. Should be enough time to finish these bases. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Somebody mentioned that the other day. I'm trying to balance. The funny thing is, if I don't stream using FTL, then Mixer actually has the, if I make it so that I'm streaming using RTMP, Mixer has the worst delay of them all. It winds up with like a 30-second delay. If I use FTL, then I wind up with a sub-second delay on Mixer, but I also have pixelation like crazy. Well, not like crazy, but occasional. Yeah, exactly. It's not actually super disturbing to the stream. Alright, let's get out some Citadel washes. This one I think I want. This one I think I want. Some of them I think I need to replace. This Stretchy Violet I think I bought like 6 years ago. Alright, that should do. Oop, and this one. Oh, that's another blood letter. I bought another Dylan last week. I just can't let it go. I think I've got two full pots now for stockpiling. I'm on a phone, didn't notice any pixelation recently. I also had some Wi-Fi weirdness earlier. If I get any glitches related to that. Taco! Thank you for the taco. Okay, I need a brush. So I'm meeting a friend for dinner and going to Wright's Chicken Farm, which Medic is so disgusted by because he has Rhode Island in-laws and eats Rhode Island chicken dinners. Baked chicken and greasy salads. Hey, Malev, what's up, man? Why are you on the floor, bro? Are you sneaking in? Is that your Shinobi silence? Well, I don't know what we're doing here. Guys, make sure you check out my friend Malev Flow Shinobi. Malev Does Shinobi. He's an amazing musician and rapper. He is also one of the best mini painters I know, and he is a Instagram superstar. And he streams here on Twitch. He's been doing late nights, which has been pretty awesome lately, I think. I think he's liked it, and I think a lot of his viewers, including myself, have enjoyed it. You suffered an injury today. Oh shit, you're actually on the floor? More mental at this point, though. Oh shit, you suffered a mental injury? Did you roll on the mental health tables? Oh, do you have back issues again today? Shit, man. Time to smoke some green. My cat was in my neighbor's yard, and I wanted to get him out, so I was gonna hop the small fence using a stump that was there. Oh shit. Uh-oh, where's this going? So you went to hop the small fence, and you just threw your back out? Or is it worse than that? But the stump gave, and I just shifted in the air and racked myself on the small fence. Oh. Snap. Oh damn. Well, luckily I missed my bits. Just took a good strike on the femur. Oh, okay, yeah. It makes you gun shy for life. Like, living is too dangerous for a while. It's like, I'm just gonna stay in this position where nothing can jump out and hurt me, including chairs and forks and inanimate objects. I know that feeling. It's like life is too dangerous. I'll just stay right here. Oh shit. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. The wash has reactivated the dry brushing. And so now I gotta let it, I can put it on, but I have to let it dry because if I am too aggressive with it, it is going to rub off. I'm gonna dry brush it again anyway though. I can already tell I need to, which was why I was trying to remove excess cooling. At least on one spot on that other one. It's not doing it. It is doing it on this one too. Not really. Be cautious. Be cautious. I'm not sure what I need for warm colors to balance this out. I feel like I'm gonna need some warm colors. Maybe. Yeah, maybe in here where the grass is, or to balance it. But this is gonna go on here real soon. I'm actually gonna go this way. The front foot's gonna go right there, that big spot. Yeah, at least you avoided the freaking berries. That's absolutely right, Absinthe. How you doing, Absinthe, by the way? Welcome. It's the second time you've been betrayed by wood. Dude, I was so surprised the other night that you didn't, like, hack off one of your fingers. I wasn't kidding when I was like, if I was doing this, I would be missing a finger. He was working on some laser cut MDF terrain, and that wasn't even partially cut through. Like, they basically told you where the cut was supposed to be. Like, there was just enough of a cut through the top surface you can tell where it was supposed to be cut, but it wasn't cut. It wasn't like he had to finish the cut through and just like pop it out. Like, he had to cut it. He had to like cut the whole damn piece. You might as well have just made it yourself, man. Whoa, she's way more orange than I originally thought. Yeah. I didn't make her more orange, she just is. I actually made her redder yesterday. Did a little bit more red glazing. With, I'm mostly done here and here. What do you think, Malev? So it's supposed to be smoke. And the smoke is coming from, like, some liquid. So you spill the liquid turns into smoke. So that's why I'm having it this, like, bright pink purple, and then turning into, like, dark purple for the smoke. From the Facebook post is where I was coming from. Oh, it looks awesome, man. Thanks. Gosh. I did a little bit of more black lining last night. I went back over the eyes and black lined those a little bit better. I fixed the white lines a little bit here, added a little yellow and red to those to blend them in, but still have them pop out the design, make the design pop, but still blend in. I haven't done anything to the moss. I don't know if I will. I might try. I've left the back of the headdress mostly alone. It's kind of covered up by the hair anyway. I didn't catch what you were saying about the kit. Oh, I was talking about the stupid-ass kit that you were working on. I mean, I want to say it's stupid-ass because maybe you're, like, promoting that company, but... Dude, what I was saying was the cuts didn't go through nearly enough. Like, the depth of those cuts looked like it was, like, about 10%. And then the rest of it was you hammering away with a freaking utility blade. Okay, we need some warm something or other in here. Well, I need my Reichland Flesh Shade. Let's find that. Here it is. And or Crimson Ink. Get that too. We are gonna wind up with static grass on here, so I'm gonna break this up further and add some other colors. Sometimes you just have to imagine that. I've been wasting, not a lot of time, but I'm wasting some time looking over Bearded Dragon stuff because I'm planning on getting one. I haven't had a pet for a long time. I don't want to deal with it. I love dogs, but I don't want to deal with the responsibility right now. And cats, I'm just too allergic to cats for it to work. I like cats, but they just make me too physically miserable to want to deal with it. Even if I took daily allergy medication, I just don't think it would be worth it for me to live that way on purpose. Super fun to build, extra challenging to do it on stream and in a small space, yeah. I was watching videos today on how to put together my chair when it shows up on Monday. Because they tell you it's better to do it with 2 people, but I was watching, they're like, nah, I was like, nah, I can do that by myself. I'm gonna be good, it's fine. I don't need 2 people. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out more night parts tonight when I get back from dinner. It kind of was on a little time constraint to try to get this done, so I can varnish it tomorrow and let it dry for 24 hours before I take it to the shop on Saturday. Because really, even before you varnish it, you'd like to have your paint dry for about 24 hours. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Alright, I want to hit this with a little gentle, let's see if I can get away with it, hairdryer. I'm going to mute the mic for a minute. Bear with. I think before we put this together too, before I finish painting it, I want to grab one of the terrain pieces and kind of compare to the terrain piece too, because that's one of the reasons why I'm using these colors, because they match my terrain pieces. Yeah, 2 people for the chair. I think I watched the whole build video, and really the only time that I really felt like they suggested that you wanted 2 people was when you're screwing the back into the frame on the sides. The supports are wider than the back, and so you have to push it together a little bit when you screw one of the sides in order to catch the threads and then get it to screw down and it'll hold firm. But initially it doesn't want to. It's wider apart. It gives you more space. So you got to kind of be able to kind of push it together. I can do it. It'll be fine. They specifically said you can put it together by yourself. They're just like, you might want it. You might prefer to do it with 2 people. What else does everybody got going on for today? I know some people are still working, some people got some shitty things going on, like a couple people in the community. Poor Malev. Almost died. Can I tell everybody that you almost died? Can we start that rumor? Is that cool? That's cool, I'm gonna do it. Back from the little drive. Well, Rob, Malev almost died. That's the first news of the day. And your mouse is gone. That's cool. R.I.P. Malev. Alas, I knew him but well. I want a medium recreational. Work is what I want. Oh, I need another one too. Too many colors, too many colors. What I'm really looking forward to is the moment where I get to put this model on the base and then kind of be like, yeah, it's done. That aha moment. So we had one more person sign up for Patreon today, which makes us now only 7, I think, patrons away from doing a marathon stream. 7 more. And we do a marathon, 18-hour marathon, is what I promised. During said 18-hour marathon, I will paint a model and give it away to one of those patrons. It's a forest mouse! Not to give in to stereotypes, but it's back in the forest. Oh, you did some city mouse, forest mouse stereotyping? Damn, Rob became a king of plants. Manage those biases, please. I'm kidding. I would assume the King of Plants knows quite a lot about the forest. It's kind of your domain, ain't it? Did you count me as Patreon? I think so. You were the new guy, right? I mean, I don't know. It'll tell me. I open it up. It'll say how many. Oh no, I didn't count you. So we're 6 away. 6. We're looking for that magic number of 30. We're at 24. We also, for any of you new people, if you don't know, we're doing a contest. It's not a giveaway. Not a giveaway with all hyphens. Not a giveaway contest. Where you may receive a model, or a box of models. I'm giving away one of 2 Infinity Army boxes. 300-point army. And all you have to do is be a patron and then go to Nixton Minis' channel on Twitch, and he's on right now, and ask him for the password. Kindly. Like, go follow his channel and say hello. Yeah, hey Nixton, how's it going today? And then at some point be like, hey Nixton, can you give me the password for Houndstooth's thing? I'd really like to know. That's what you have to do. That is your feat of skill that is not pure luck. It requires social graces and the ability to show up on Nixon's stream whenever he is on. Robotic, how you doing? Oh, you're more of a hydroponics plant guy. Oh, King of the Green. Gotcha. I gotcha. I like it. Nixton is on right now, so if you do head over to twitch.com/NixtonMinis, you can go. It is a requirement. You have to get the password from him, and you have to send it to me, because I'm not allowed to do giveaways that are just random luck. I'm not sure this even qualifies, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be good. Plus, I also wanted to support Nixton, so. That was probably the bigger factor. If you haven't seen Nixton's work, is pretty amazing. He's a really fantastic painter. You can check out his stuff on Instagram as well. That's the main reason I wanted to support him. The thing is, he's a fantastic painter, and he doesn't get enough attention for that. So I wanted to draw attention to the man, the myth, the legend. Doing good, just working on some settings to get my minis printing better. Oh, nice. You printing anything cool in particular lately? I know Showland's been doing a lot of printing. Dead Zone's been doing a lot of printing too. I have no desire to get into it myself. There was a guy, I can't think of the exact name right now. It's like Baphomet Miniatures or something. He's a commission painter. He used to do really cool work. He kind of got into, I think he started his own little line of miniatures at like 15mm scale, and he's kind of, I think, stopped commission painting. I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. But yeah, he was a cool dude. Just moved into making stuff on his 3D printer. Can you share a link? Yeah, hold on. There you go. Oh, that's reason to move this bar up so I can still reach to the pyramids easier. Okay. This is still a little too cool. So, one of the things that I'm doing here, let me show you, is I'm trying to make sure that this will look halfway decent on this board. This is the one side of the starter kit board. You can see that the grays that I'm using on the outside are designed to fit the grays here, okay? And as for this color, this is to match my Warcry terrain. I'm going to grab a piece of my Warcry terrain and come back, and I will show you guys. We'll take a look and see how well it's matching and figure out what else. I can do some hand painting on the bases once I apply the model too, so I'm going to get up for a minute, grab a piece of terrain, come right back. Now I think I want to give one more pass to this terrain and desaturate it just a little more. It's not quite, I think, a final colors that I want, but it's pretty close. Oops. Alright, so do we pass a sniff test of matching both the board and the terrain? And I think the answer is yes. So that looks kind of cool. Looks pretty cool, and it fits this board nicely. Let's see how good or bad it looks on the other side of the board. Is there an easy way? Here we go. So this side of the board, is not gonna match as well. It just isn't. That's okay. Doesn't look horrible, it doesn't match. But I don't like this side of the board, in all honesty. I don't like this board anyway. And if my starter terrain's on this side of the board, it'll still match the starter terrain, so not a big deal. And then the other board, it should still work. So let's see. Because of these blue-grays, it should still look alright. And because of the cool colors on the other part of the base, I think it does. I think that works pretty well. So, yeah, I think we're basically okay. It's a little plain, but I don't think I want to stretch it too far until I put the model on there and then determine what else it needs. And this one I don't think got the second dry brush, so let's do that real quick. The other one did, this one doesn't look like it did. I just want some of the details of that model to be a bit better. Okay, cool. Oh, let me take a look. Oh, cool. Yeah, the face doesn't look like it has a lot of detail in it right now. Oops, wrong button. It's a cool mini though. Did you find the files somewhere, or did you make the files yourself? Is it a model of your own design, or is it just a print of yours? And for any of you that are patrons and you like the tip of the day or you like other things that are happening right now on the Patreon, make sure you tell your friends. Okay. I'll rinse this out a little bit. This dry brush aside, let it actually dry again so I can use it as a dry brush. Hey, Skylar, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. I'm going out for dinner. In about an hour, I'm gonna leave. A little over an hour. So I'm excited for that. I gotta stop at the bank, grab some cash, and head out there. It's a little bit of a drive during rush hour, so it's gonna take a little while. But I'm looking forward to it. Something that has been mentioned many times, and then today in the morning, my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to go tonight to this place?" Like, hell yeah! You know I do. I thought about it for a little while, because he even said he knew, because he's here now. He's like, you're streaming tonight, so I know you're streaming, but you want to have dinner at 6? Yeah, well, I guess I do. I was like, I'll do an early stream and maybe a late stream, and I'll make up for it. I found the file and I did some modifications to it. You're a game... hold on. Developer by trade, but on the programming side. So I taught myself 3D modeling as well, so I can make better games in my free time. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. That is super awesome. Alright, now let me think about this. Let's do a little more washing. A little bit of this magenta into my palette with a little bit of airbrush thinner. If I can find it. Really need to change the whole way that I operate in terms of when I pick something up, it should go back immediately rather than just wind up in a random location on my desk. Oh, but such is life. Okay. I do a weekly art challenge to try and get better and get some practice as well. Lots of fun. Oh, that's cool. I knew some people that were in art departments for video games way back in the day. They used to work on MMOs in the early 2000s, and they did that a lot. A lot of them would just do that on their own, have their own like individual art challenges they would, do, and a lot of them would do them. They would do them at work too. They had certain ones that they'd all participate in for a month or whatever. So I always find with any type of stone that it's really important to vary up the tones, and I often just do it by adding small amounts of GW shades and letting the edges blend together. And you just gotta work kind of quickly. Sometimes I thin them out, do it like a 50% dilution. I gotta be careful because I just got some ink on this brush kind of pretty far down, so I'm gonna rinse that right now. And one of the important things when you're rinsing a brush is not to just let it soak. What really cleans it is that cavitation, that motion. So you really do want to do what Bob Ross used to do, is beat the devil out of it and actually really hit those sides of the cup, because when you start and stop, that's when you generate the little cavitation bubbles that really help to remove the excess paint. Oh, this is looking way more zinchy right now. Wasn't my original intent, but I'm not gonna argue with it. Supper's ready. Going to be lurking for a bit. Yeah, cool, man. Silent! Holy shit. What's up, Silent? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call it a lurker. You just showed up in the chat, so that might have been an accident. You might be lurking, but that's cool. Good to see you, Silent. Right, now I'm calling her a lurker. Sorry, now I'm being a dirty jerk. Still want to probably do one last dry brush on these. Gotta let it dry out for a couple minutes, and in the meantime, we'll do the same thing on this one. So again, you just add a couple of spots of one color, and you add a couple spots of another color, and you let them merge as they want to. I try to do at least 3 colors, and I try to cover all of the surface at least a little bit. Sometimes you just let them touch, let the pools touch and don't touch them, and sometimes you kind of blend them together with your brush a little bit, just kind of pull and push so the colors mix. I'm excited to, I think we're getting pretty close to being able to put my model on the other base. I think I can, while I'm waiting for this wash to dry before I do the dry brush, I'll start blacking the base edge. So I started, and I mentioned this in today's tip of the day, I started using a lot more texture paints for basing. They're just really convenient. I used to use a lot of basing grit. What I found a lot of the time was you had to apply PVA glue at certain times and let them dry for a long time before you'd get to the sort of stability where you weren't afraid that some of the grit was going to pull away when you went to do dry brushing. So that was an issue. Alright, let's start blacking out this base. Almost to real progress. Baby, I got you. Almost out of this Vallejo Black. I'm gonna have to order another one of these. I think they actually have these at Hobby Lobby. The prices are ridiculous, but to get a single pot of model color black, it's worth it. Rather than be ordering it online or something, getting one of my retailer friends to get it. It's easier to just pay the extra 80 cents or whatever. Could you press the grit into milliput instead? Yeah, that's just another step, you know. And it might change the way it looks a little bit. You're not wrong though. You probably could do it. It's an option. My initial thought is it's probably got too many drawbacks, but I could try it. The bottom line is though, I'm comfortable enough for the most part with the texture paints at this point that like. Just put the texture paints on. They're so easy. What I found is one of my local stores, the hobby shop that does model trains and stuff, they carry the full line of Vallejo texture paints. And the Vallejo texture paints cost double but give you 8 times the volume. That's 200 mLs versus 24 mLs or whatever the other pots are. I think they're 24. But they only cost twice as much. They're only like $13. They're actually less than twice as much because I think, what is it, like $8 now for those double size pots? And the 780, something like that. Vallejo texture pots are the best. Yeah, they're pretty good. The thing is, most of their texture paints are the same thing with different colors. It's kind of true for the GW ones too. what I've found is you can kind of buy one of them, or at least for some of them, you can buy one of them and just paint it. Depends on how lazy you want to be. So we are, I think, live on YouTube for the first time today. I don't know if I have anybody watching from YouTube. Nobody's been in the chat. And I can't imagine anybody would even have found me on YouTube. No, 0. Okay. This is still wet, so I gotta wait. See that shininess? Even this, where you see the shininess is gone, doesn't mean it's dry enough for me to really paint over. The Invincible Robot, thank you for the follow. Alright, we're gonna do... I think we're dry enough for one more dry brush here. And then when that is done, I think we can manage. I think I want the little dry brush. Where did that go? Brush seems dry enough. Let's give it a shot. Paper towel's getting a little wet now. Just gotta be careful. Find a dry spot or flip it over or something. Because if you try to wipe off your dry brush on a wet paper towel, you will dampen the brush enough that the dry brushing gets. Whoa! Reptar is on YouTube's. Now I can watch you here too when I'm on Twitch. Sweet! Yeah! See, I can't remember who's following me where anymore. I was when I saw you followed, I was like, I'm trying to remember which platform you started on and which platform you're going to. Like, you came from D Live and are going to Twitch, right? It's hard to keep straight now. It's a good problem to have. Have you live on both platforms? Hey, Orcris, what's up, man? Guys, make sure that if you're on Twitch, make sure you're following Orcris Gaming so that you are notified when he is live and you can check out what he's doing. Sometimes lovingly referred to as Orky, even though that is not his name. The opposite. Oh, it is the opposite. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Did you get your Adepticon hotel thing worked out? Are you good for next year, Orky? You're okay with Orky? Good, because I just called you Orky. It's funny. I think even though I knew that. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're fine with it. I just did it because I don't know, because I said that. Alright, well let's try this. I'm gonna apply the model now. Or try to apply the model. And then whatever other modifications we'll make knowing as a whole, as a composite. So what I'm doing now, as I mentioned this earlier, was that I had put some masking fluid down over the styrene on the mask, on the base, so that I could remove the masking fluid and there would be no paint or primer, and we could glue the feet to those spots. It should secure the model pretty well. So now I'm creating, and I can scrape away and make bigger spots if I need to. This should give me enough of a spot to glue the model to. Hopefully I don't have to paint in any of that bald spot. I think it's all going to get covered up if I do this right. Just went in Hyatt Place Schaumburg. Nice. I'm gonna be my tab open, but I have to leave in time. Yeah, do what you gotta do. Thanks for stopping in, Invincible Robot. Thank you for leaving me a lurk. I appreciate all of that. Alright, so here's the model. I really did change the look of this model a lot in the base. The base changed more than I thought. But that's okay. We can still get to where I want it to be. Not bad though. We also are definitely doing static grass. That's going to change things a bit too. Or tufts. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do pre-made tufts or static grass or both. Useless Wizard! Hey, what's up, man? Another awesome streamer that you guys should check out if you haven't already. The amazing Useless Wizard, another one of my Adepticon buddies from hanging out late night last year at Adepticon. One of the best parts of Adepticon, in my opinion. Not that there isn't a lot of other cool stuff, but hanging out late at night with the peeps is a lot of fun. Alright, alright, we're about to get serious here. Yahoo serious! That's gonna go there, and that's gonna go there. Okay, hold on. Did you get a room? Yeah, well, yes and no. So, I have a room that I'm splitting with somebody for the first couple days, and then he has somebody else coming in, and he kind of needs the room, so I have to leave for the weekend, that room, and I was gonna try to get maybe a 2-night reservation when the block opens Friday, tomorrow, but I don't think so, because 2 of my other friends have space in their room. They're like, listen, for the last 2 nights you can just crash on our floor or whatever. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just do that. And I don't know, it does prevent me from having to deal with the system tomorrow. I would try to get in at noon and do that whole thing. I don't really care. So I'll bring a sleeping bag and stay on the floor for the last 2 nights. But yeah, I'm good to go. And that keeps me, it also keeps me at the Renaissance for the whole weekend too, so. Hey, how's everyone? What's up? Inix the Kitsune? We're about to do something simple yet scary. Just try to melt this model to this base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully try to apply a little bit of this plastic cement at this foot. Scrape off some of this extra primer. Some amount of this foot is going to melt under that hole. That's what I'm hoping for. Because it is styrene. I used styrene sheet to make that texture on the base. So I can use plastic cement, I don't have to use super glue. I'm going to let that dry there for a minute, or air out, kind of melt the plastic. A little bit of excess there, I'm going to let it evaporate, and then I'm going to apply some of this into these 2 holes. If I need it, I have a much stronger plastic cement that will melt much more strongly and get these to glue together. Other contact point is actually right here. There's actually more than these 2 contact points, because it actually sits, I think, on this lip of the road too, right there. My first Adepticon, I was a mile away from the hotel, I had to walk back and forth every day. That sounds terrible. But you managed it. I tried to get in, but being 22 minutes walk from the comm, we'll have to do. 22 minutes walk! Can you take a... Are you going to walk, or are you going to like take a cab or something? Call an Uber. Get a ride. You probably get a ride from somebody. I guarantee there's going to be a million other people at the same hotel. But one thing that I want to keep next year from this year as tradition is if I wind up there on Wednesday, I don't know if we're going to get there on Wednesday or not, I'm going to IKEA for dinner. As much as there's better places to go for food, I feel like the Wednesday night IKEA is like gonna be a tradition for me. Me and Chucky did it this year. Alright. Open tray. Open and tray. It's centered? Yeah, it looks pretty centered too. Actually, if anything, it's a little not centered. I want to take it a little bit this way if I can, yeah. That actually looks not bad. hold on there pretty good. I bet you it's going to be melt down there pretty well. I'm going to just give it a little pressure and time. Try to... hold on. I want it to go that way. A little careful here. Make sure it doesn't tip too far to one side. Is it mostly centered? It's pretty centered. He's kind of in one of those interesting poses where you actually probably don't really want him centered. Probably want him a little bit to his left. Okay. I think that works. Oh, sorry, I'm off cam. I'm an idiot. The worst streamer ever. You're fired! Thanks, Inix. Is it Inix? Like in excess? Or is it just in the kitsune? Is the X silent? Nice, that's a cool bit of terrain. Yeah, thanks, man. I, just to recap how I made it, I'm using this cobblestone styrene sheeting, for the bases. I made raised platform bases for the two bigger deal dudes, so for my leader and for my Illuminate, whatever it is, for Cypher Lords, and then these smaller 25 mil bases, I literally just plastic cemented them to the styrene sheet, and I'll just cut it out and sand it to size, and they'll just be cobblestone. That's it. But I went a little bit more multi-element complex for these dudes. Now, I'm not sure this color profile on the base is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. I am going to add some tufts and or static grass. I'm really leaning more towards tufts, because I think I want that kind of nice straight up and down. You can call me Kitsune. Alright, we'll do. Unfollowed. Oh, damn. Useless wizard. Why? Oh, because I'm terrible and I was off cam, that's why. Lurch UK, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, more people are gonna show up now that I have a cool model on the screen rather than just like a dumb little piece of basing. Alright, we gotta do another round of black edging. I have somewhere, I have a like a brush that's exactly the right size. It's a square-headed flat brush that just is the right width that you can just place it down and just rotate around, but I don't feel like looking for it right now. So this is a little bit of an early stream because I normally stream at 6 p.m. On Thursdays, but I'm going somewhere for dinner, so I'm gonna do an early stream, and I might do a late stream too. I might come back at like whatever, 9 o'clock, stream for 2 hours or something. Kitsune, I gotta remember that. One of my I think I probably already told you this already, but one of my all-time favorite pieces of artwork. Have you ever seen a piece of artwork in person that just made you stop and like consider your life and all of reality and just like reset your entire way of observing the world? I have. And that happened to me at the Met in New York City when I went to a exhibit of Japanese woodblock prints and artwork from the Edo period, and I saw the famous Foxfires print that has like there's a tree and there's a bunch of like kitsune around the tree, and then there's like another distant like encampment or whatever in the distance. It's a very famous piece of Japanese art. I saw it and I was just like, I had nothing to say. I was by myself. I had nothing to say for like an hour. I spent a lot of time there, just right in front of it, just kind of. But I remember looking at it for a while and then kind of backing up and then like looking around the room and then like looking at it again and then going checking out the rest of the exhibit and then coming back. The only time I've ever been like dumbstruck by a piece of artwork. It's not even that complex or anything. It's not like I was doing a Where's Waldo. It was just, I don't know. It just hit me right in the guts. All right, what I want to do is glaze a little bit more of this reddish color. If I can get any of it to reactivate on my web gallery. It's a similar reddish color as the robes, and I want to just have it be a reflection on the bottom part of his helmet on this side because it's facing the robes. And so some of that red should be showing up on this metal. Oops. Just don't get it on that gem, please. So doing a light glaze of that reddish tone on the metal will make the whole thing more consistent. Just gotta watch that pooling there. Better. Probably needs that again. But it is warmed up. It's good. Alright. Still a little too weirdly neutral. The values are fine. Right. What am I gonna do? I don't want to use this brush. This brush is too nice for this job. Oh wait, no, this isn't the nice one. Let's make sure I keep the nice one separate. Or maybe that was the nice one. Hold on. No, not the nice one, so I actually could use that one. Here, I'm gonna use this one. This I've already started using for metallics, so I can go ahead and use this. Just don't want to get any ink too far into a nice brush and ruin it. You know, sometimes there's a point at which it's fun to go ahead and wash and then dry brush, but if you keep kind of circling the place you want to be and you're not quite getting there, sometimes just do it directly. Because if I did a wash on this again and it tints the really lightly dry brush tops again, then I'm back where I started. So instead, in this case, I'm just gonna essentially sort of pin wash and just put some magenta right where I want it. It's just a little bit of thinned down magenta ink from Liquitex. Some of the Scandinavian landscape art makes me happy. There are pieces that look photorealistic from further away, but are big splotches of paint up close. I can never get enough of this effect. Yeah, that's really fun. I really enjoy that. Sometimes it can be a little gimmicky in some cases, but it still works. Like, sometimes they have those giant pieces of art. I've been to a couple photo shows. I've been to more art openings than probably most people do. That's actually probably not true. I mean, not most artists, but most average people. And there have been a few of those ones that I think they're kind of gimmicky, but they're also kind of cool, where it's a really big piece, and they put it in a room where you're gonna probably walk and see it from pretty far away. Like, they kind of put it like around a corner, where you come around a corner and now you're like 25 feet away from a wall, and they put it on that wall, facing you as you come around the corner. Anyway, what the piece usually is like a big portrait, and you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a really cool portrait. And then you get closer and you realize that, like, the portrait, it's one of those ones that they must do them digitally or something now. It's all made up of, like, little photos. Like, it's all, like, little scenes or snippets of, or other photos, or other portraits of the same person or whatever. And then that's what you see when you get close. It's just, like, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of, like, little photos. But from 25 feet away, you're like, it's one big portrait. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's cool the first time you see it. It's got to take a lot of effort to... I mean, it probably takes no effort, actually, because at this point they just use a computer software that, like, they just know how to make it happen. I haven't seen a lot of Scandinavian landscape art. You know who might, for a long time, one of my favorite artists I don't even know what he's doing these days. He might even be dead for all I know. I have to look this up actually now. One of my favorite artists was this guy, Andrew Goldsworthy. He was pretty famous for... He's still alive. He does, like, environmental art. It's hard to explain. A lot of it, it's like weird sculpture. It's sculptural. He varies it up a lot too, which is really nice. But he'll do things like paint on an adobe wall with like a specific type of clay, and then you can watch it dry, and then as it dries, it leaves these crazy patterns. He does a lot of things where he'll like chuck big chunks of like natural pigments into rivers, and then you like watch it swirl down the river, and he like photos it and stuff. And it's hard to explain what he does unless you've seen it. There's some documentaries. What's the famous one? Rivers and something. There's some pretty good movies about his stuff, and also the sculptures are just like all sorts of natural pieces. But Rivers and Tides, yeah, that's the 2001 documentary. The other cool thing about his work is it's not just the finished piece. Like sometimes it's the whole process is part of the art. Like he'll get a team and they go and they do some crazy ass shit. Like they go pick up these rocks from wherever and then carry them 7 miles and whatever it is. Like it's almost like performance art stuff, kind of wrapped into all this cool environmental stuff and natural art. It's pretty cool. He's one of my favorites for sure. Alright, let's see if I can find... I'm gonna get up for a minute, move over to that big box. I might even be able to drag it over here. It has all my basing stuff in it. Started finally keeping most of my basing stuff in one box. Oh, I only got about 20 minutes before I need to get out of here. Alright, so I got some static grasses. I got this dead static grass. I got this dark green static grass. I wish I had like a burnt static grass for this. I actually kind of do. I don't. I have these tufts though, but this is actually kind of what I'm looking for. That's the Highland tufts. I also have Wasteland tufts, which might be closer to what I was thinking about. That's these. They have like a red underpiece. And I have regular swamp tufts that are greenish, but I don't think that's going to work for what I want here. Because we've got enough cool colors. I kind of wanted to go more dead or wastelandy or reddish. You can dry brush tufts too. So the static grasses I have don't really fit the colors of what I was hoping for. It's not, hold on. Now that I put that aside, we can actually look at these. So I have light green static grass somewhere around here because I was just using it yesterday. So it's somewhere on the table. I just don't see it. I moved it aside or put it somewhere. I don't know where it is. Probably behind me. Anyway, we don't want it. So I'm not even going to worry about it because I know we don't want it. And then as for these, this one maybe. This could be useful. This one doesn't fit what I want for this. This could fit. It could work. So we'll keep that as an option. This I'll put away. Now, as for these tufts, you're back. Welcome back. Dropped my model and broke it. Oh shit! Gotta glue it up. Now the swamp tufts, these green ones, I don't want. So I'm gonna similar reasoning. I'm gonna throw that back in the box. Now it comes down to these two, and these two both could work pretty well. I probably want the smaller ones, so as long as I've got enough of the small ones, let's take both of these out. These are Army Painter Battlefields XP tufts that I think I bought at CaptainCon last year. I'm talking to the CaptainCon people about potentially teaching some painting classes at Captain Con next year. Any of you want to come up to Rhode Island for a game convention next year? It's in February usually. I don't know the dates for next year yet. Nixton says, you have not told... We've told him the password. Holy shit, he's known the password for like 2 weeks. This is not correct. He was there when J-Crod came up with the password. I can't say it out loud. I'm gonna message him right now. Holy shit, that means he hasn't given it out to anybody yet. Alright, hold on, let me message him. He knows exactly what... He should know exactly what it is. Son of a bitch, I thought I even whispered it to him already. But it was in his chat that we came up with the password. He was there for that. I'm whispering it to him right now. TaylorTune5, thank you so much for the follow. Tell him to check his whispers. I gave him the damn password. Is he still live? Son of a bitch. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but nice try. Mr. Odds, how you doing, man? Oh, Mr. Odds. So you... Still live, okay. Tell him to check his whispers. I sent it to him. Hopefully he'll see it and go, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, this is what I want because of the red bottom. I like that. Now let's try this one though. Let's try these ones. These also has a reddish color to it. That actually looks pretty good too. Probably keep it away from his foot so we don't hide his foot so much. Put one over here. What do you guys think? I'm gonna give you two options here. What color static grass tufts do you like? The one on the left or the one on the right? I actually think I strongly prefer the one on the right. Working from home today, nice! Nice, Mr. Otts. Yeah, I think, the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking right. But, don't let me influence you. You tell me what you like. Here, I'll put the sheets on the camera too so you can see them on the sheets. That's the right one. And that's the left one. Dead Zone on Useless Wizard say right. Yeah, Rob King Plant says right. Yeah, everyone says right. Someone says right. What is the coolest thing I've seen in a long... That is the coolest thing I've seen in a long while, man. Great job. Oh, thanks, Mr. Rotz. I appreciate that. Alright, we're going right. Two paths diverged in a wood. And then I went right. I might have to try to cut... Have any of you guys ever tried to cut down a static grass tuft? Like split it? I've never tried doing that, and I feel like I could use half of one of these in a couple of places. It would be appropriate. Yeah, well, I think we're all in agreement. I'm gonna go for it. Alright, now they are self-adhesive, but to be safe, I probably should glue it in. Okay, I dabbed off some excess glue, which kind of starts accelerating it, I think, so you gotta be a little bit careful when you do that. This in there, grab my little tweezers, push it down into the corner, there we go. I specifically left that corner for this very purpose. I was like, I'm gonna stick a tuft in there. Okay. Let's see if I can maybe split one of these bigger ones, because I've been using up all the small ones, and I want something that's about half the size. don't really even know what the best way to even try to do this is. I think I'm gonna grab an X-Acto knife and just try to cut it down the middle. What's the worst thing that can happen? You ruin a tuft. Oh, that works. Holy shit, that works. We've split the atom, people! Tufts are divisible, who knew? You're not so tough now, are ya? The blade shatters and the world ceases to be. Was at my local G-Dubs today, playing with these boys in some games. Cypher Lords are nasty boys. Yeah! I haven't gotten a game in with them yet. I've played with Untamed Beasts a little. I haven't gotten to play these guys. I have 2 boxes. I have enough to really settle in and... Yeah, okay. Two boxes gives me enough to make any list I could potentially want, really. That's reasonable. There's no reasonable list I can't make with 2 boxes. What do you think? Maybe one more? Maybe a tiny one? Maybe I further split the atom? Oh my god. How many times can you cut down a tuft? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll? The world may never know. 2 boxes of ciphers, you heard it. Basically take glaives, yeah. I know. I'm tempted to... I'm gonna try swords. I mean, the truth is, glaives are awesome. Here's... You know, it's funny, because it's like 5 points difference, right? The glaives have a 2-inch range, which is insane, because the 2-inch range is really good in this game. And they have an ability that only they can use. They get like a low sweeping blow. On the plus side for the double swords, they get an extra attack, which is generally kind of powerful in the game because it does increase your chances of getting crits, and crits are really good. So there's that. Basically, take glaives. I'm totally down. How are you doing, man? Hey, I'm doing well, Eternal Bard. How are you doing? All right. Let's get some blue on here. Ooh, that's a lot of blue. How are we doing on time? Get about 10 minutes, and then I gotta get going because I'm gonna change clothes and then jump on my car, go to the bank, and try to meet my friend for dinner at 6 o'clock. Even if I have to mull about up there in northern Rhode Island for 20 minutes or whatever, it's better than being late. And it's rush hour, so anything could happen. Traffic. There's an accident and I get stuck, and then they're going to be waiting for me. So we'll try to leave a little early. So far, so good. Don't pull too hard. That super glue is still curing. Actually, I should continue to give it a little bit of pressure. I'm wondering if I can need to use some washes or a little dry brushing to just slightly vary the color of these tufts so they're not exactly identical all the way around. But that worked really well. See, now I feel better about the fact that I've used up all the small ones. Because in this case, I just took a big one and split it a few times. You can still have a leftover piece. Wow, Northern Rhode Island, you must be close to where I am. Whoa, where are you, man? I live in Providence. I mean, you don't have to tell me. I don't mind. I accidentally gave out my address the other day. when the delivery got called, I actually said my address on stream. I didn't mean to, but I actually don't care. No one's gonna come kill me. We're fine. They're almost never tied up in combats. Yeah, with the 2-inch range, it's like it's too advantageous. Yeah, you ignore having to disengage. Exactly. And then you make them have to spend an action to move. No, I get it. The 2 inches is almost broken. And then you can do the low sweeping blow and hit everybody at 2 inches. It's like if you have like 3 dudes that are 2 inches away from you, you can just low sweeping blow and hit them all for extra damage. And that's just an ability. It's not even one of your activations. It's pretty amazing. If worse comes to worse, yeah, you illuminate a Thrall Master, whatever that. I can't remember the name of that ability. What's it called? Shadowy something. To blink the glaive user out of that combat, right? I used to live in Providence, near Federal Hill. I live on Federal Hill. Brighton Street, off Knight Street. Okay, yeah, I know where that is. Yep. I'm right near there. Right, pretty close. I'm not gonna say exactly where, but pretty close. If you know where Julian's is, I live over by Julian's. LSB only hits a nominated fighter. Oh, is it really? It's only a nominated fighter? Okay. Never mind, I didn't read it that closely, apparently. You're in Southern Mass. Yeah, I'm from Southern Mass originally. You just get dice... Southeastern Mass. I'm from near Plymouth County. You just get dice from whoever is around you. Oh, really? Hey, I have to reread that. I'm gonna reread it right now, because apparently that ability doesn't work anything like the way I thought it did. Alright, so here's the Cypher Lord's card. Double, low sweeping blow. Roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter. On a 4 to 5, allocate 1 point of damage to the fighter being rolled for. On a 6, allocate a number of damage points. No, it works exactly like the way I thought it did. What are you saying? You get dice for each from whoever is around you? That's a different thing, right? That's not what this is. You just get, it's just one of those AoE damage attacks. Yeah. Roll 1 dice, right. It's a damage, it's a damage dealing ability. There's a whole bunch of those 1 damage on a 4 or 5 and then the value of the ability on a 6. I don't love them. It's only great. He's having a hard time finding a whisper, didn't I just what? I just whispered it to him. Alright, well. It's all good, we'll figure it out. Fisher King, I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Fisher King, why don't you just I'm gonna give it to you, and you can dispense it. Just give it to everybody who's over there, okay? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Alright, you know it. Use that power responsibly. Well, it's not AoE, it's AoE in that it affects everybody within 2 inches. It's AoE. Yeah. It affects every enemy fighter within 2 inches of your fighter. That's AoE. No, it's everyone. Each roll 1. It's right here. You can read it yourself. Roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter. Each. Roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter. You can simply read it. On a 4 to 5, allocate 1 point of damage to the fighter being rolled for. On a 6, allocate a number of damage points to the fighter being rolled for equal to the value of this ability. No, because you roll 1 dice for each fighter. So if there's 4 guys, you roll 1 for each of them, but you roll them individually. So you roll 1 for this guy, and if it's a 4 or 5, he takes 1 damage. If it's a 6, he takes however many. And then you do it for each one. No, dude. No. No. You're rolling 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter. For each fighter. So if there's a guy here and there's 2 guys next to him within 2 inches, I roll 1 dice for this guy, and I roll 1 dice for this guy. And if there's a 3rd guy, I roll 1 dice for this guy, 1 dice for this guy, and 1 dice for this guy. Every dude who's within 2 inches, I roll 1 dice for, and I consult the table, and the table tells me what the damage is. You can play it that other way, but this is more powerful. That's the whole point of it. And that's why it's a low sweeping blow. It's sweeping. No, dude. You get dice on whoever's near, correct. But you're hitting everybody within an area of 2 inches. That means it's AoE. It's AoE based on the fact that it hits everything within 2 inches. It's not one fighter. If there are 6 fighters within 2 inches of you, 6 enemy fighters, you hit 6 fighters. The rule's actually super clear. Yeah, you pick the dude, you pick the guy who's doing it, and then you look. So if this guy can't do it, but if this guy's doing it, then you look around and you pick every enemy fighter within 2 inches, and you roll a dice for each one. No! Each visible enemy fighter. No! Roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter. No! Why do you want to make this rule into something it's not? You're picking the dude who's going to use the ability, and then you roll 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter. And then you allocate damage to those fighters based on the following 2 sentences. There's like 6 other rules that work the same way, so if you're getting this one wrong, you're probably getting the other ones wrong too. Alright. Well, it is 5, so it's actually time to go. Although most of the other ones, I think you actually do pick one. The Iron Golems have one that's like that, but it's a pick one. But it's within 6 inches rather than 2 inches. So you pick one person, but you have a greater range. Eternal Bard, thank you for the lemon. Read damage allocation. I'll read damage allocation, but... No, but it absolutely isn't, because it says allocate 1 damage to the fighter being rolled for. And because you're rolling 1 dice for each visible enemy fighter. Oh, I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is you're gonna roll... No, that's no way that works. This doesn't make sense, because that's not a low sweeping blow. You wouldn't do a low sweeping blow and go, oh, there's 5 guys around here, but all the damage is gonna go on the 1 guy. You don't get extra dice for having more guys. The whole point is it's a low sweeping blow. You sweep the blow and you hit all the guys around you for 2 inches. That's how a blade would work. Otherwise, there's no... The flavor of it doesn't work at all. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait for an FAQ if other people are actually confused about that. Okay. Let's find somebody to raid. Now this week we are on Twitch. We're raiding art streamers. We can raid Nixon if he's still on, but he might not be on for long. Yeah. Hey, Eternal Bard, thanks for the ice cream. We're gonna raid Nixon real quick. Well, if he's still live. He's probably not gonna be live for very long because it's pretty late over there. Either that, or we've been trying to raid art streamers. You know, we're gonna raid another art streamer this week.
For it.
Hold on, sorry.
We brought it back.
Hold on. Category art. Let's see who's live. No, we're not raiding mini painters this week. No mini painters. Too many mini painters. We do nothing but raid mini painters. All the mini painters raid mini painters. The mini painters raid each other. It's the biggest clusterfuck. Oh, how about a tattoo stream? I mean, let's check this one out. Yeah, tattoos. Let's go. We're going over here. Oops. Oh, that's weird. Oops, I did that wrong. I should have put that in this window. But I think it worked anyway on Twitch. It's gonna might mess up everything else, but it should be fine. Alright, let's go. Thanks everybody. I'll catch you again soon.